Okay, if you have been grinding away for months now, hitting the gym, working on the side hustle, but you still feel like you're as miserable as when you started, then this video is for you. Because what I'm about to tell you explains why hustle culture works only in the beginning. And I will also tell you what actually works in the long term. So let's try to understand why hustle culture became so popular in the first place. Picture this. You're in your early 20s, you might be in university or looking out for the first job. You basically don't have any bank balance at all at this moment. You look at people who are older and more successful than you, everything just seems out of reach, and that whole pressure of creating a good fortune and good future for yourself, it just all creates a sense of frustration and anxiety within you. On the surface level, it would feel like if we had so many emotional triggers such as insecurity, anxiety, rage, and we had an end goal in mind which was just getting success in all areas of life, then it would have been logically easy to cover this distance, right? It would have been easy to figure out what to do to get there. But you see, that's usually not the case. A lot of time what happens is when we have so many obstacles to cross, at least when it seems to the mind as such, then an subconscious illusion gets created in the mind which says that since it's so difficult to overcome so many things, why waste the effort? Why try anything? That it just leads to the person not feeling doing anything at all. Like they just basically become a couch potato. They just stay lost throughout the day in doom scrolling and whatever. And this particular belief that this obstacle is too big to cross and hence I will not do anything breeds a form of tense inaction, which basically means you're not really doing anything but you're still feeling stressed all the time. And then comes hustle culture, and it tells you something revolutionary. It tells you that you can use all of that anger, that you can channel all of that frustration into trying to get what you want. And honestly, it works. Well, at least initially. You see, when we are young, we don't have a lack of anger or anxiety or such emotions. And hustle culture basically comes and gives us the permission to use all of that built up negative energy and pour it into action. So you start hitting the gym because you are angry about how you look. You start that side business because you are frustrated about being broke. And you start approaching girls because you are now just too tired of being lonely. And for the first time in your life, instead of just wallowing in your negative emotions, you are actually doing something about them. You are taking action. And you are seeing progress. And this is why hustle culture feels so powerful in the beginning, because it gives you an outlet for the emotions that you already have in abundance. But here is where it gets really interesting. And this is the part that most people don't talk about. You see, if you look up the word hustle in dictionary, you will find that it means to push or move somebody in a way that is not gentle. Pay attention to the last part. And that is the fundamental issue with hustle culture. It is built upon the foundation of being harsh on yourself, of forcing yourself to do things that you do not naturally enjoy doing. And don't get me wrong, all of these things have value. And in the beginning, you should push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. Now, some of you might come at me and say, oh, you are just being a pussy. Oh, you don't have what it takes to work hard. You're just being too soft on yourself. Hear me out. I am not against willpower. Willpower is virtuous. Willpower holds real value. But the issue is, willpower has limits. Think about it for a second. How many times can you force yourself to do something that you don't actually enjoy? Sure, you can do it for a few days, maybe weeks, maybe even months, but there's only so much that you can push yourself before something breaks. Let me give you the most common example. Gym motivation through hustle culture. Maybe someone rejected you, maybe someone made fun of your body, maybe you even got bullied. So you get angry, really angry, and you channel that into hitting gym every single day. Every single day you go to the gym, you put on your earphones and you play an audio that says you will show them, you will prove them wrong. And that works, at least for a while. You're seeing gains, you're building muscles, you're getting bigger, and you do that every day. You go to the gym, you listen all those voices in your head that you need to show them, you need to prove them that you're also worthy enough. But ask yourself very honestly, would you be mentally at peace? And most probably the answer would be no. Because here is what is happening. You see, anxiety and anger are energy draining emotions. They are very taxing on your body and especially and also on your mind. And you can stay motivated through those negative emotions for only so long before you start feeling completely burnt out. And that is why so many people who start and stay with hustle culture eventually hit a wall. I mean, they are doing everything right. They're consistent, they are making an effort, they are pushing themselves, but they still feel more exhausted than ever. Because fundamentally, the core emotions driving them, which are of anger and fear, those emotions are incredibly draining for you. So now we understand the problem, but what's the solution then? What does actually work in the long term? Well, the answer is super simple, but it requires a complete shift in how we think about motivation. And here it goes. Instead of using our anger or fear as the source of motivation for our actions, now hear me out. I know it sounds way too obvious and it almost sounds like a glib, but understand this, because here is where most people get it wrong. Think back to the time when you were a child. Remember playing with your friends? Or perhaps you just enjoyed painting or creating some music. There are so many things that we do as a child that we just do because those are enjoyable to do. Did we require any motivational videos or inspirational videos to get us fired up and get us going? No, of course not. We could have done those activities endlessly because they were motivated by happiness and joy rather than fear and anxiety or anger. And that is the difference between sustainable motivation and burnout motivation. You see, when we are motivated by enjoyment, by the genuine love for what we are doing, it does not feel like work at all. It feels natural, it feels effortless. Now I know it could be sounding really abstract right now, so let me give you some concrete example of how we can implement this teaching in our lives. Instead of going to the gym because we hate how we look or because we are afraid of falling sick, we go to the gym because we enjoy the feeling of moving. We enjoy the feeling of getting stronger, of being healthy. Similarly, instead of starting a business because we are too desperate to prove ourselves to others, we do it because we genuinely enjoy solving problems and subsequently create some value. Instead of pushing ourselves to socialize because we are too afraid of staying alone and being lonely, we do it because we genuinely enjoy talking to people and we genuinely enjoy human connection and just learning new things about everybody. And you see, in all of the above, the action remains the same, but the reason that you do them changes. In the first scenario, we are running away from something negative. And in the second scenario, we are moving towards something positive. And that difference is a beautiful thing. When we are motivated by enjoyment, then the end result that we desired from hustling has been already achieved. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually practice it? So here is what I recommend. First, start paying attention to your current motivations. Whenever you are doing something, whether it's working out or working on a project, whatever, just take a pause and think, am I doing this because I am angry or afraid of something? Or am I doing this because I genuinely enjoy doing it? And be honest with yourself. There is no judgment here. Most of us start second. Gradually reduce your dependency on using anxiety and anger as motivations. Instead of watching those inspirational videos that fire you up through negative emotions, try to find out what is it that you genuinely enjoy while doing that activity. I mean, if you're doing something, there must be at least some aspects of it that you genuinely find worthwhile. For example, if you're working out, try to notice how your body feels so much better when you exercise. Try to see how your mind feels so much better after you've done exercising. For example, you are socializing. Rather than taking your desperation with you, see what aspects of them do you genuinely feel a connection with. If you do those two things, then here is what is going to happen. And this is important, so please pay attention. Some of the activities that you are doing right now might not survive this transition. And that is a good thing. See, when you let go of fear and anger as motivations, you might find out that you do not actually enjoy doing some of those activities. And if that turns out to be the case, do not panic. Because it is much better to discover this right now than to burn yourself out years later doing something that you hated and having to quit later anyways. And for the activities that you do genuinely enjoy doing, you'll find that the results are now just through the roof. Because you're just operating from a very different headspace. Instead of forcing yourself through willpower, you're now naturally drawn to improve and excel upon those things. Plus, you might even find new activities or interests that you would never have had you been stuck in the hustle mentality forever. Here is the ultimate irony of hustle culture. Everything that you were trying to achieve, impressing people, feeling successful, proving yourself, all of that can be achieved right now in the moment if you just simply enjoy whatever you're doing. You see, most of the activities that we do through hustle, they are done to achieve an end goal, and that end goal is usually some form of emotional satisfaction. By simply enjoying the process itself, we get that emotional satisfaction right now. And we do not have to wait till we get our dream relationship, that dream physique, or earn that dream, I don't know, $1 billion or whatever. And I'm not saying that hustle culture is completely useless. No. It has its uses. See, if you are completely stuck and unable to take any action, you do need some push to get yourself going. It's fine if from time to time you do require anger or rage-based motivation to get yourself to do something. But understand that it is only the starting point. It's not the destination. Hell, it's not even the whole journey. Our goal here is to move from a fear and anger-based motivation to a love and enjoy based motivation. To move from pushing yourself to do the things that you hate, you naturally just gravitate towards the thing that energizes you from within. Because at the end of the day, life is just too short to keep forcing yourself to do the things that you do not enjoy, that make you feel miserable. And the usual excuse that is given is that they are good for you. Well, sure, some of the things could be good for you, but if you are doing something for years and years on end and you're not enjoying them, you're just miserable doing them, then what good is the end result that it will bring? So here's a little challenge for you. Next time when you start something, ask yourself this question: am I motivated by fear or anger, or by a genuine interest in that thing? If you are successful in moving your motivations from here to there, you will find that the only real hustle was to end the hustle. See you in the next one.